Okay, everybody. Ian Rappaport just tweeted out moments ago. Bill Belichick will have a second interview with the Atlanta Falcons this weekend.
I saw that this morning.
Now, let me tell you this. You don't call Bill Belichick in for a second interview to tell him.
Yeah, we're going a different direction.
We're going in a different direction.
You don't call it different.
You know what I mean?
We found a better.
Hey, Bill, thanks. Appreciate the time.
All this time,
resume's
you
not that
go
good.
down this road only to say we're going with Jim Harbaugh. We're going with just, and I don't want to use another name because it would just sound disrespectful
Right.
to the other name, because the other name can turn into Bill Belichick. I pointed out, again, Raheem Morris, once upon a time, at age 32, got a coaching gig. Won 10 games in his second of 3 seasons with Tampa, and it was the only 10-win season for Tampa between 2006 and Tom Brady. And everyone looks at it, that potential hire as being less than, because he ain't Bill, he's not Harbaugh, he's not even Vrabel. He doesn't have a Coach of the Year award in the last 3 like Vrabel. I'm just saying, Pete Carroll had a shot first with the Jets and the Patriots, and then 14 terrific seasons with Seattle. Mike Shanahan was a Raiders head coach before he became a 2-time Super Bowl winning head coach for the Denver Broncos. Belichick had his run in Cleveland, then look at it. So I'm not denigrating when I say you don't tell Bill Belichick, let's talk for another time. We have some follow-up questions for you, Bill.
Can we see your resume?
And again, you weren't here, Mike, the other day because you were too busy working faders on Alcorn State or whatever you were doing.
We ran those jokes
And
already.
so,
I'm sorry.
Oh, by the way, it's one big mad lib. I'm just going to, I guess it's,
Alcorn?
I don't know.
Ball State?
So, TJ, you said a
Halliburton.
well, what you say, the meeting, a coach's interview with Bill Belichick goes with, like what?
Like,
again?
you know, Halliburton briefcase,
Yes.
much like when you popped open Marcellus Wallace's
Yeah.
briefcase, the light beams out and he's got, and I said 6, but I didn't even count the 2 he has in the assistant. So 8 rings.
Right.
That's the name of the boat.
Right.
And that's his resume, and that's my job interview. Boom. Open
So
it
then
up,
what's
show-
the second interview with Belichick?
Maybe he forgot the other 2 rings is the first
Yeah.
thing.
Bring them all?
The boat
We
is
want to
8
see
rings.
them all?
Yeah.
So at first I said 6, but he's like, oh, yeah, I do have these
just brought the
assistants.
page.
Well, Ian also said Rich McKay and Terry Fontenot are going to be in the meeting also.
Because
So
this
it's a
means
meeting with
we're
everybody.
talking, now we're talking staffing. Now we're talking what does the rest of everything look like if the team president, which I think is McKay's still, that's still his title.
Yeah.
And then the general managers are going to be brought in.
Yeah. Front office personnel.
Because
How's
he's
this
not going to
how's this
Dallas.
gonna go?
He's not going to Dallas. I thought that was a great part of What the Football with Susie and Amy this week, where Amy's like, hey, listen, I know Jerry Jones. 2 of them can work together, Jerry and Bill. Well, Jerry's like, I'm not gonna go down that road. He decided that with McCarthy, he's staying put. Does Dallas play Atlanta next year?
Oh, great question.
Because that, I mean,
I don't.
this is the sliding door moment. Because I started the show saying,
They do.
oh boy.
At Atlanta.
Oh boy! Because,
amazing.
dude, I'm telling everyone, because I'm seeing McCarthy get eviscerated everywhere, and I understand why. Because you can't win 12 games in the NFL, only to lose in the playoffs where you can't get a damn snap off. Because it appears you don't know, you've got to give the ball to the umpire to spot. And you can't then get back to the playoffs with a 12-win season and lose by having a final play for Ezekiel Elliott's career in Dallas look like that. And then you can't then follow that up with a 12-win season and lose at home after you haven't lost a home game in 16 games to the youngest team in the history of the playoffs and give up the most points you've ever given up in your franchise history in the playoffs and then keep your job, can you? Well, the answer is apparently yes. Apparently it is yes, because Jerry doesn't want to go down the road of hiring someone else and changing everything. Certainly on the offensive side of the ball where everything worked. Because you'd have to go through a hiring process just to get to Belichick. And if Belichick's having a second interview with Atlanta right now, you're too late. What, Bill's going to wait? He's going to pump the brakes, tell Arthur Blank, I'm not coming because I got to talk to Jerry? That's dicey. So, that's the sliding door here for a lot of Cowboys fans. But if Bill's going for a second interview, this sounds like to me like, okay, so how will everything work?
Yep.
And if those pieces land, who are you bring your staff? If that wasn't somehow covered in the first meeting, I don't know why it wouldn't, but that's kind of one of the first questions. If I'm an owner and I'm talking to Bill, like, who's your staff? This is the way we do things here. Are you comfortable with that?
Yep.
Because these are sort of the lines I don't really want to change here. These work for me. I'm a successful man. You understand? As another successful man, this is the way I want to do it. Now we're just going to bring everyone in so everyone's on the same page, so we're completely collaborative how it's going to work.
Absolutely.
Soup to nuts, from PR to community outreach to draft to rostering to day of game situation to analytics to who's making the smoothies around here, you know, like all of it. Smoothies are huge.
Oh, so good.
It's a big deal.
So
Yeah.
you don't just have a second interview to say,
No,
no thanks?
And bring in the president and GM and
President. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Dude.
this is happening.
And so Dallas will come in to Atlanta and it'll be like, you could have had him. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.